I've got my sister Julie and her husband Mitch visiting from the Kansas City area, and they're down and we're going to go off and do a hog hunt here.
These days almost everybody hunts with some kind of shooting optic, if you will. This happens to be a Trigicon.
Folks, it's Luke Clayton, and it's time for a little quick cooking recipe, if you will. Let's make some chipotle peppers. Now, I'm going to actually serve as your king.
Welcome to A Sportsman's Life. We're so glad you tuned in to join us for another exciting real-world outdoor adventure right here on A Sportsman's Life.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to A Sportsman's Life. We're so glad you could join us this week for another exciting adventure. And this week, we've got some fun and exciting stuff going on. We're going to talk a little bit about custom jewelry. I've got my sister Julie and her husband Mitch visiting from the Kansas City area, and they're down and we're going to go off and do a hog hunt here later in the show. But we're going to talk a little bit about what Mitch and Julie do. And Mitch and Julie are custom jewelry makers. Mitch is a lapidary specialist, and I'm going to let Mitch tell you what that is all about. And Julie is a bench jeweler. She makes, silversmith. She does all of that kind of stuff, and they make fine custom jewelry. And let's just talk a little bit about your business. Mitch, tell us a little bit about what lapidary is and a little bit about your business.
Well, thanks, Jeff. Great to be here, and I'm happy to talk a little bit about what lapidary work is. Lapidary work is basically cutting and polishing gemstones and semi-precious gemstones. Nature has so much to offer that if you don't look close enough, you might overlook some really beautiful things out there. And we just love working with what nature has to offer, and that's really what our business is all about, is finding things in nature that we can put together to make beautiful jewelry, which Julie does all the metal smithing, which primarily involves silversmithing and some copper work and things of that nature. Nature is really the focal point of what our business is, and taking that and making jewelry for people that they might have a special want for, or have an idea of something that they like. And it kind of ties in with the sportsman's life, in that we really get involved in finding out what nature has out there for us to create beautiful pieces of jewelry, and that's really how we came up with the name Open Range Jewelry.
Absolutely, and then some of the beautiful pieces here, folks. This is made from a casing from a shell, and just absolutely beautiful. Julie, tell us a little bit about what you do with the silversmithing, and a little bit about how folks can reach out to you. Maybe they want a custom piece made, or maybe they just want to be able to buy a piece offline.
Yeah.
How do they do that?
They contact us through our website. We have a website that actually is a shop, and you can go on and look at some of the pieces that we have, and that's at openrangejewelry.com. We also have an Instagram page at openrange.jewelry, and then a Facebook is, of course, Open Range Jewelry. And we also have a YouTube channel. So for those of you that like to watch the process, Instagram and Facebook and our YouTube channel will show you what we do, how we do it, and if you want a custom piece, just get a hold of us. Otherwise, we have a lot of stuff that's prepared and ready to be purchased, and when we do get an order, we ship those orders wrapped and ready for whoever's going to open it, even if it's for you. So we take a lot of pride in how everything is done, and we really enjoy working with you on whatever it is that you need.
Great. Well, Open Range Jewelry, folks, check it out. Some of the most beautiful jewelry I've ever seen. She's made me hat pins and all sorts of different things, and I absolutely love it, and you do wonderful work. Both of you guys really do. And now we're going to get down to nut crunching here. We're talking hog hunting. So these two here both went on a recent hog hunt. Mitch just real recently, and he had his first opportunity at a hog, and of course so did Julie. And we're going to watch those two hunts here, and we're going to see how that all unfolds. And one of the two wins. I'm not going to tell you who, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So folks, stick around. We have a great show coming to you this week here on A Sportsman's
Mitch
Life.
and I are just gearing up. We just got here. Feeders go off in exactly 1 hour, so we're loading up the guns. We've got the 30-30. We also have the 300 Blackout with the thermal night vision, the AGM Rattler. So we're ready for daytime or nighttime hunting. Now this, again, you can shoot day or night with the Rattler, but we brought the 30-30 as a backup. So we've got two guns, we're loaded with our cameras, and we are heading out to hunt. So folks, stay tuned. We're going to have some fun heading out to the blinds looking for Mitch's first hog. You ready to get one?
Yeah, let's go get
Let's
some hogs.
do it. All right.
Did I miss him?
Keep watching, keep watching. I missed him. Well, darn it, that happened pretty quick. I mean, the feeders haven't gone off yet, and those hogs came right back in minutes after we saw them leave as we were walking. And we hadn't been in the blind probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes, and they came right back in. I don't know, Mitch. Look, I don't know, like you may have pulled it a little bit. I don't know,
I
but
think I
we
pulled up on it.
Yeah, we watched him run a long way off. So at this juncture, I don't know if we're gonna have hogs back in here or not. They could, you never know. But just to be on the safe side, we're gonna take us a little walk. We're gonna head to the other side of the property, probably a half mile away. So we got a little bit of a hike. The feeder goes off 30 minutes at that blind. So we've got 30 minutes to get there, and it's a good 30-minute walk. So you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do
All right,
it.
we're gonna shut her down. Go try this again.
Yeah.
All right, you
Yeah.
can't miss this next time.
I won't miss this next time.
It's all fun. We'll be back, folks. Stay tuned here on our Sportsman. Brought to you by Dallas Safari Club, Conservation, Education, and Hunter Advocacy. Hornaday, accurate, deadly, dependable. Taurus Firearms, maker of the Raging Hunter. Trigicon, brilliant aiming solutions. Welcome to the Buck and Bass Ranch. Twin sister Julie, who's better looking? Yeah, you got it. She is. Yeah. Folks, we're heading out to the blind. It's December 30th. And we're going to go see if we can't get Jules here on a hog. You've never hunted before, so what do you think? This is going to be exciting, huh?
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I never thought I'd ever even think to shoot anything, but after listening to my sister telling me, think of it as a rat, a rodent, big rodent, then it's easier to shoot.
Yeah, now, well, you're going to hopefully get an opportunity. There's been sounders of hogs. You've been seeing a lot of deer, too, so we're going to go, we're going to sit in the Vernon blind, and we're going to see if we can't make something happen. So it's getting late in the afternoon, so we're going to sneak out there. We've corned the road, so hopefully we'll have some activity. We've been seeing hogs the last couple of nights at the feeder here at camp, and anyway, we're gonna slip into the blind. Julie's got my 300 blackout. It's got it's got the Photon, Sightmark Photon XT, RT, so it records. So hopefully we'll get some video of her smacking one. So, well, you ready for some Porkapalooza?
Sure, it's New Year's Eve tomorrow. So
yep, tomorrow's New Year's Eve. So hopefully,
wouldn't that be nice to have some porker on the grill?
Yep.
In the smoker. Porker in the smoker. I am.
All right, I think it's time we get on our way. So we are moving. All right, folks, we'll be back here at the Buck and Bass Ranch. We didn't get it on regular video here because obviously it's after dark here at the Buck and Bass Ranch, but you just saw my sister shoot her first anything. She was the 300 blackout with the Photon RT Sightmark scope. What do you think of that scope? That's pretty cool, isn't it?
That was really cool.
So,
I never thought that I'd be able to see anything at night. We just had a bunch of deer come in. Probably, what do we have, like 6 to begin with?
Yeah, then we had 2 more come in.
And then 2 more came in.
8 deer.
And they were fighting back and forth for the food, but there were also hogs at the same time that were out there, which you said doesn't normally happen, right?
Typically not.
And then Jeff kept saying, once the deer move on, the hogs will come through, and we waited and waited and had to wait for them to come up over the berm and get a little closer, and I had one move sideways several times, and I just didn't feel comfortable pulling the trigger. And then
a lot of heavy breathing going on over here.
I know. Totally. But I got my zen, calmed myself, and I said, I got it. I'm sure I've got it.
I heard it hit. You definitely got it. It's a matter of if you hit him in the right spot. We heard squealing, folks, off in a distance, not too far in a distance. I mean, 20, 30 yards off from where she shot. We heard squealing, loud squealing, so
here's to hoping I get to drink out of the hog goblet.
Oh, I think the boar goblet's going to be, oh yeah, no, I think you can, hopefully. I mean, we won't get ahead of ourselves here, but I got a good feeling anyway.
I hope I hit him where he died quickly, because I don't like anything to.
Oh no, no.
But
there's too many hogs around here, and it's good eats. So you got some good eats. He was
squealing, but not very loud, but not for very long. So I'm thinking that must mean that he's.
Oh, if you hit him when you're behind the shoulder, he'll die within minutes. But I always give him a half hour. So what we're doing is we're sitting here in the blind, catching our breath, having some wine. Got us a little heater going here, and then got the old Mr. Buddy heater going. Tomorrow, New Year's Eve.
We can smoke a hog tomorrow.
Yeah, I just gotta get Mitch on one now and send you guys home packing pork.
Sounds good to me. Let's hope we find it. I will be one happy girl.
Mitch is gonna have to make room in the vehicle, though.
Whatever.
Oh, you need to take some home. That's some good groceries. All right, folks. Well, anything else? Otherwise, we're gonna cut loose here. I'm gonna go get the buggy, and then I'll pull up here, and we'll head back, and then
We'll look for him.
yeah, 45 minutes, hour. I'll head out there, and we'll drag him back for you.
I have to go with you.
Oh yeah, oh for sure. And it's gonna be, folks. It's gonna be all about pictures. So we're gonna get some pictures of. Hopefully, let's keep our fingers crossed. We got that hog down. We're gonna get. It's all about pictures for me and sending her home with some pork. So. Well, folks, so there you have it. Julie Ludke connected. Gosh, Mitch, how far did that thing go?
Well, not very far. I mean,
What do you think? 20 yards?
yeah, there's the.
Well, heck, that's the buggy right there. Is that the buggy?
Not even 20 yards.
Oh, there's the buggy right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
15
that's the
yards.
road. That's where she shot right there. That's where it lays.
We are
20
back
yards.
here at the Buck and Bass Ranch. My twin sister Julie, brother-in-law Mitch, visiting us here at the ranch. And congratulations, Julie, you have connected. Awesome. Give us your quick thoughts. Speak up a little bit so we can hear you, but because it's starting to rain here.
It
But
is raining.
quick thoughts. Quick thoughts on this.
Thoughts are, yeah, I did it. I never thought I would ever do it. Mom was with me. Demi was a great instructor because she gave me the heads up as to where I was supposed to go to target at, even though you told me, she had told me first, and I did it right where it needed to be, so we're there.
Well, congratulations. You guys have pork to take home, and I tell you what, this is going to be an absolutely spectacular eater right there. Awesome job. Well done. Okay,
Thank you.
let's go inside because it is starting to rain.
Oh, and guess what?
What?
I get to drink out of the...
Yes, the boar goblet comes out. Well, friends, we want to thank you for joining us here. I mean, we had a great night. Unfortunately, part of hunting is missing, and it's a tough pill to swallow, isn't it, Mitch?
It is a tough one to swallow. I had the shot of a lifetime and didn't make it count, but had a great time.
Yeah, well, we just got done watching Julie's hunt, and of course she connected, so she'll be rubbing it in. My sister, I know her, she'll be rubbing it in big time, but it's just not meant for today. Unfortunately, if the cows wouldn't have been there, I think we would have had a shot because those hogs came in, they wanted to come in. So it was kind of a bovine bonanza tonight.
Yeah, it certainly was.
So anyway, we had a good time, and we want to thank you guys for joining us. And so let's move on to another segment of the show. A Sportsman's Life is also brought to you by Air Force Air Guns, H3 Whitetail Solutions, Pyramid Air, Gear the Hunt, Skin 'em Right, Snaplock Hunting Blinds, Smoke and Tex, Sportsman's Connection, Striper Express, TRHP Outdoors, and Ultramatic Feeders.
These days, almost everybody hunts with some kind of shooting optic, if you will. This happens to be a Trigicon, and happen to really like this Trigicon scope right here. It's an AccuPoint. It's got a little tritium dial back here, so there's right at the juncture of the crosshairs that are in here, there's a little, in this instance, a green spot. Helps you get on target a whole lot quicker. Helps you in terms of when there's lower light conditions. Scope, there's so much to scopes these days. We're at a point to where we've got the best optics that we've ever had in ever. And a lot of them are now, years ago you shot a 2.5, a 4 power, fixed power 6, maybe a little bit of 7 or something like that. These days most people shoot variables. They finally got the mechanics down where variables work really, really well. This happens to be a 2.5 to a 12.5. And if you'll notice, there's a parallax adjustment right here on this side. Now parallax, if you're using a scope that goes up to 10 power and not beyond that, you don't need to be worried about parallax at all. Parallax is essentially, a lot of people call it a focus ring. You want to set your focus back here so that whatever you're looking at, that your crosshairs are crystal clear. That's what this is for. Then when it comes to adjusting the focus beyond that, that's where you want to use it here. Most of them come with settings to where it runs anywhere from about 40 yards to infinity on this one. And what that parallax does is just aligns everything properly when you get right down to it, and it makes the focus of the animal that you're looking at very crystal clear. There are lots of different kinds of scopes available these days. There's a first focal plane and second focal plane. First focal plane, as you increase the magnification, the animal increases in size, but so does the crosshairs that are in there. It takes that crosshair that's this big and puts it down to a much smaller size. The second plane, the animal or the target you're shooting at pretty much stays the same, or rather the reticles stay the same as you increase the magnification on it. So go to a really good dealer somewhere and have them show you some of the scopes that are there and explain to you exactly how they work, and I think you're going to be real happy when you do that. Also, these days, a lot of people are doing long-range shooting. Now, you can hold over, or some of them too will have an adjustable turret. This happens to have an adjustable turret as well. This one happens to be sighted in at 100 yards or at 75 yards actually, and knowing what the drop is with a range card, I can adjust accordingly. A whole lot easier if you have the time than a holdover is. So I know that if I need to go with this one, if I need to go 250 yards, I click up to about the 2 figure on here. Some of them actually will have the range up here to give you an idea as to where you need to do it to. But so many different optics, so many different choices these days. 1 minute tube wise, a lot of the old scopes were all 1-inch tube. This happens to be a 30mm tube that allows for a little bit more light transmission. Now, your eye can receive a grand total of 5mm of light. That means essentially that your iris will open up to a 5mm to accept that light. So these days with the scopes that we have, sometimes you can get a lot more of that kind of thing. You can get it up to 7 or 8 sometimes, but you can only see 5. But what happens is, with the coatings that are being put on these lenses these days, that really also helps as far as light transmission. Buy a scope that you like. Most people now these days seem to go to the high variables from 4 to 18. In most instances, it's to me, it's a waste of money. Once you get from a hunting situation, if you got one that you can crank down to 2.5, I mean, you can go in a dangerous game, hunt close at 12.5. You can shoot as far out as you want to. But get out, try different scopes, and go to a good dealer and have him show you what's available. And you can't go wrong with the Trijicon. Bottom line.
Conservation Today is brought to you by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the brand that sells the land. Visit HaydenOutdoors.com to find or sell your farm, ranch, or recreational property.
So once you find the perfect piece of property, you know you got the budget for it, it's the right size place. Do you think you need to talk to a biologist? Might they know what's going on in the neighborhood, what the neighboring ranchers are doing, what type of species? If you're in the hill country, you may have some exotics coming through there. You know, biologists might be a great idea. You're going to talk to a private biologist, or you're going to talk to a state biologist. A lot of things to consider.
Folks, it's Luke Clayton, and it's time for a little quick cooking recipe, if you will. Let's make some chipotle peppers. Now, I'm going to actually serve as your cameraman and do a little descriptive video on how to make chipotle peppers. Chipotle peppers are nothing more than jalapenos smoked. Like these. These are just green jalapenos, and I'll also put some serrano peppers in the mix. And I'm thinking about maybe making a blend of the 2 peppers, but we're going to put them in the Smoking Tex electric smoker, and we're going to smoke them about 8 hours at about 175 degrees with some pecan wood. So let's load them up in the smoker. Now this makes some awesome seasoning for soups, stews, guisadas, anything like that that you want to cook. And I basically just smoke them, and I put them in a plastic bag, put them in the refrigerator, chill them down, then I put them in the freezer, and bingo, you've got to have chipotle peppers whenever you need them. So let's load them up and start them smoking. What do you say? So we're going to put them on the top rack here of our Smoking Tex. And I've had the thermostat set at actually about 200. I'm going to cut that down to about 175. And then we're going to let our peppers go about 7 or 8 hours, real slow. They should have a smoky flavor. So we'll show you the finished product here in a few hours. Well, folks, it is your old buddy Luke Clayton. And as promised, we're going to put these chipotle peppers to some very good use. Now, we're going to make some count beans. And this is not a complicated recipe, but I'll tell you, it's as good a beans, probably the best beans that I've ever eaten. And it's real simple. We're going to use just some regular old pork and beans. As long as you use the navy beans, the small white beans, this will be an excellent dish. But we're going to combine the garlic, and well, I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll give you a close-up of the different ingredients. Now you can make this just as well out of boiled navy beans. I've actually made this recipe before and pressure cooked it You know, I have the little sausage in it too, so it's actually beans with sausage. But I've seasoned it up really good and pressure cooked it and canned it really good on a camp meal. But it's so easy to make. But after you try it with this garlic and the chipotle peppers and the sausages, the barbecue sauce, I think you're going to really like it. So let me go through the process here with you. It's real simple. You've probably already figured it out if you can see these ingredients in front of me. But we're going to walk you through the different parts and let you try this at home or at camp. I think you'll really enjoy it. So folks, obviously you can make as much of this or as little as you like. We're going to make a couple of cans of the beans and smoked sausages. This will feed, oh gosh, this with all the ingredients would probably feed, I'm going to say 4 people, 4 hungry people. So let's start off with the beans. Now if you don't want to boil your navy beans, you can just any kind of canned bean, as long as it's a small white bean, you'll be fine. Garlic is a primary ingredient in this recipe, and I'm going to put probably about 6 of these little garlic cloves in there, chop them up. Chipotle peppers that you watched me make, we're going to take about 3 of these, chop them up. We're going to chop up some of this. This is made by Kubi's. It's called I think it's called their snack sticks, but any kind of sausage that you've got, smoked sausage would be good. This smoked sausage with the smoked peppers, really going to add a lot of flavor to it. So basically, let's just chop up our peppers. You don't need to watch me do that. You know how to chop peppers. Chop the onion up and chop the garlic about. Now I'm not going to use all this garlic. I'm going to use about 5 or 6 cloves of garlic. And then we're going to need a little bit of barbecue sauce in this. I'm going to use I'm going to estimate, 1/4 of a cup of Best of Texas barbecue sauce. There's a little bit of a smoky flavor and a little heat will be added to this. By the way, folks, there is no better barbecue sauce than Best of Texas. Okay, so let me start chopping. You don't have to watch me do that, and then we'll combine it all in the skillet. Okay, my friends, we have simmered all our vegetables and the garlic and everything, and I wish you could smell this. Those chipotle peppers all chopped up in this, and the garlic and the onion combined. I think I could eat this right out of the skillet. But that's not what we're going to do. Let's add our beans. A couple of cans. Let's put in 2 cans of these porky beans. And you remember I told you we needed to put some brown sugar. Let's do that. Let's sprinkle a little brown sugar in there with it. Stir all this together. And what am I missing? Some barbecue sauce. Best of Texas barbecue sauce. Let's put about, a couple of tablespoons of barbecue sauce. I'm telling you folks, there is no better barbecue sauce than this. Let's sprinkle one more in. Stir. I like to add ingredients and then stir. You can see all those peppers and onions in there. What am I forgetting? I don't think anything. What I'll do now is add a little water to this. And this is going to be way more than pork and beans, folks. Let's put some water on it, put it on the burner, and let it simmer for about 30 minutes, making sure not to scorch anything. And then we'll come back and you and I can eat some of the best beans you've ever tasted. Well, maybe just I can eat them, but you can make your own. Pretty dang simple. Okay, my friends, here is the finished product. You can see those bits of sausage, smoked sausage cooked in there. See those pieces of chipotle that we made a little bit earlier? Now, if you want to make this, and if you're into canning, you can buy some navy beans, little navy beans, and pressure cook them and make all this ingredients. You use the same ingredients, but you can put it all together and can it in jars. I don't know, I just kind of like the process of making this, and I certainly like the process of eating it. So let's spoon up a little bit of this. A little for me, and a little for you. I wish you were here to enjoy this with me. Now let's have some lunch. What do you say?
We want to thank you for joining us here on this week's episode. Please join us right back here next week for another exciting adventure on A Sportsman's Life.